What's up, everyone? How you all doing? Thank you for joining us today. Quick shout out to VR Spry Guy. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Again?
God damn,
birthday,
that dude has
Spry Guy.
more birthdays than I've ever seen. Like Benjamin Button.
Hey? Didn't he have the
I'm
same
not
amount of
wishing
birthdays as everyone else, but he was just born old and then went young?
Mm.
Too much, Fry. I'm not wishing you a happy birthday anymore. It's too much.
Interesting. So yeah, how is everyone? How's everyone's week going already? It's been a last week was amazing, I think.
My mind is blown because I didn't know about Dr. Pepper and heating it up on the stove. Mash has given us the behind the
fuck's
scenes.
sake.
We got
I guess
61
some
people in
drink.
chat watching right now.
Yeah.
Somebody out there has to have heard of this besides me. There's hot Dr. Pepper is a thing. You take Dr. Pepper and you heat it up like coffee and you drink it. It's like a hot toddy and it's like a spiced like toddy. It's super good. And you could put a little whiskey in it or brandy or something.
Right.
It's a good thing.
Let's see what people say.
Are we just gonna let Mash take the reins and just
Yes.
drive us into the
Well,
flames?
fucking, to be fair, Roots told everyone I was going to keep my mouth shut.
I didn't say anything.
I'm blown away. That's my whole thing. I think Wes is right. I think Mash
Thank
wasn't
you.
feeling well
Hey,
last
wait a minute.
night.
Hold
It's
on.
because of the Dr. Pepper.
Artful's from England and he's heard of it.
He hasn't
So
known
Thank
it.
you.
I've heard about a lot of things, but Artful, do you do that?
Who
drink
doesn't do that?
Or like Pepsi and milk? It's another one.
Pepsi
that
and milk
Mash
is a
read us
huge
today.
thing, dude.
What
It's
the
a
fuck?
no. I'm not saying I do it. I think it's gross as shit. But it's a big thing, especially in the northwestern part of the United States.
Like,
Milk
do you
and
have
Pepsi.
Coke floats? You have the
No.
ice cream and the Coke and stuff.
Oh
Would
yes, we'd have
Oh,
root
like
beer
root
too.
beer.
Would that-
Exactly.
Root beer.
floats.
Yeah, root
Yeah,
beer.
but it's
Yeah,
kind of
root
the
beer
same thing. I mean,
Would that not be, yeah, too dissimilar to Pepsi and milk, I guess. Why anyone would do that, I don't know. But then I did meet somebody who put milk in green tea, which I thought was exceptionally strange as well.
Yeah.
So
Crazy world.
how's the week going for everyone? All good, I hope, with a twist of lemon. What?
Yeah.
Right, let's not talk about Dr. Pepper
What a
anymore.
week, man. I've played
Yeah.
so much good VR. It's insane. It's
Same.
melting my brain all over the floor. Like, I don't even want to sleep. All I can think, like, I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, I'm going to play that game. Like, it's just.
I need to touch on
heavy,
this, right? So today, when I was walking the dog, I saw some nests in a tree, and I wanted to shoot them to see if there's any jewels in them. I even took a photo. I was going to post it on Twitter, and I thought, nah, don't bother, man. It ain't worth it. But I did. I looked at them, and I was like, yeah, I could shoot them. Like, I feel like I want to shoot them.
Do you think
Dude,
there
all the
was any?
crows, dude. You have
There might have
crows
been
on
some in there.
Mate.
We'll find out.
we're going to talk about Resident Evil 4 in a minute anyway. Some people have had an issue with clarity and stuff with it. But let's get some introductions out of the way first. First of all, we have got Wes and Roots from Virtual Strangers. How you doing, fellas?
I'm ready for the end of the year discussion. We're going to be or actually voting next week for our end of the year award show.
Yeah. How long were you boys live for that one? Today.
was that
Well, we went over the categories and nominees last night on a 3.5-hour episode, but I mean, it wasn't just that. We also gave impressions of RE4 and Sniper Elite and Arizona Sunshine 2. So it was a big epic episode, but it took us about 2 hours to get through all the categories and nominees.
I would like to talk about those games actually today as well, because we haven't, have we?
I was sick, so I missed it. I had lots to talk about. I didn't get a chance to talk last night. So.
Yeah.
I'm playing a ton of VR myself, so I'm ready.
I'd like to talk
Good
about
time.
Sniper Elite actually, because I don't think that's really landed with many people. No one seems to really care or anything about it. It is a bit weird. Next up, let's welcome Alex VR and Skeever from Between Realities. How you doing, fellas?
Yo, good to be back.
Father and son reunited.
That's right.
it.
That's right. I was romping around in your neck of the woods last week.
You
Took
was.
a couple of days in the UK.
How was the weather? Did you bring any good weather with you, or was it
Dude,
just...
no. I did not see a single drop of sunlight the entire time I was in Europe. Actually, it was when I left that I like broke through the like thick blanket barrier of clouds and actually saw the sun. I got out of there just in time. I don't know how you guys do it. I was so happy to get back to this Arizona sunshine, no pun intended.
That is why I went to Cyprus for a week, like a couple of months ago, and then if you just don't go outside much, you keep your tan. Do you know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Well, it was great, man. I had a really good time. You know, we were over there to do the VR awards, just a lot of fun. And then I took a couple of days and went to the UK, and I went to Milton Keynes and met up with a couple of the homies,
You
right?
did.
Paradise Decay and Buck and Dr. Oculus and VR Catalans all came out and hung out. And also I was given a couple of gifts, but the most notable of them is this squid friend that
Oh,
Paradise
from
Decay
PD?
gave to me. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys are so weird.
I know.
man.
It is what it is. But this is my squid that I brought home.
I don't
So now-
understand. I don't get it.
well,
Do you like
you
squid?
know,
Do you like squid?
He's
doesn't?
you're gonna have to sign up for the OnlyFans to get access to
Oh,
this
nice.
information,
Ooh.
if you know what I mean.
Did you get a signed autographed picture of PD?
No, but I did sign and autograph a picture of myself for PD,
I know.
which was
Ooh.
fucking amazing.
I know, we did too. He's got a whole book full of like autographed pictures. And me and Skiva did too, but
He
gave us a
does.
signed autograph of
What a
him.
good
too.
idea. Kind of jealous.
So
What a great idea that is.
yeah, I didn't get that. I got the squid. I've got AI2 in digital format.
Oh, yeah,
Paradise
the-
Decay's
Nice.
album.
Yep.
Yep. And I got a custom Dr. Oculus formal edition with the
Oh.
Dr. Oculus in a tuxedo, painted as a tuxedo for
Oh,
the
the
VR
little
Awards
figure?
hosting job. Yeah, it was like a commemorative Dr. Oculus figure that he gave me. So it was pretty cool. It was worth the trip up there just to get these little mementos and trinkets and things.
Did you eat anything British that you enjoyed? Anything deep fried or anything like that?
Yeah, I was a little taken aback just by because London was really like my only like real British day of like doing stuff, and I went to 2 museums and went to a handful of different restaurants, and I got the like a meat pie, like a steak and ale pie with gravy and mashed potatoes and carrots, and I felt like that was like the most British food dish. I
I
had.
should have come.
Oh, and I had blood sausage for the first time.
You
and
mean
that was fucking disgusting.
Blood
Black
sausage,
pudding.
Black pudding.
Black pudding.
It's
Black
medieval.
pudding.
It's
Gross.
medieval out here, son.
Disgusting.
Medieval. Yeah.
Dude, I'm down. You know what I mean? Like I will eat it. I'll try it. It's gonna be good, whatever. And I was like, okay, black pudding. I'll give this a shot. And like two chews in, and I was like, what the?
I had 2 massive slices of that only yesterday morning.
Ooh, dude, I do not know how you guys do it, man.
I
It's
like-
basically like chewing blood. It's fucking
Yeah,
gross.
I love blood. Yeah, it's nice.
It's like, yeah.
I do, especially cooked blood. Yeah. So, and next up, I'm gonna leave Mash till last because of his hot pepper thing, hot Dr Pepper thing. Sadly, Bradley, how you doing, fella? You good?
Yeah, I'm a little tired today.
a
This
little
week has been a nightmare because I was trying out these things. These are the new Vive
Oh,
trackers.
nice. Yeah.
Oh.
Now the problem is they are only working with the Vive XR Elite, and that thing has been an absolute nightmare since I got it. And
Is that
getting-
is that the goggles, the glasses?
Yeah. Where is it?
Does anyone even use them though? I mean, is it worth?
I don't think
Brad,
I don't think anyone uses them. I don't think any consumer should use them. I think they are.
What a
not
bomb for a headset
fun.
that could have been something.
I don't think
good.
they're a fun product for consumers.
Not fun.
They're not fun. It took
Damn.
me like 3 days to get these trackers working the way I wanted with them. I had to replace my whole router system and basically because there was incompatibilities with it. And even still, when I got these things working, I like them. I definitely see the huge benefit in the future of sort of trackers for full body tracking to go this way. But
Talk to me, man. What are they? Are you just strapping them to your legs? Is that the what was on the other day that you didn't have music to? By the way, it was just you dancing.
yeah. I was look. I'm so frustrated with these things. I didn't want to put any effort into adding music to that video or anything. So, no, yeah, they're like if you ever seen like full body trackers, like the ones that usually you use with Lighthouse system, you put on your waist, one for each foot. The big benefit of these is they don't require Lighthouse base stations. They're like the Quest Pro controllers where they have cameras. They look at your environment. So the idea is, yeah, you can do these anywhere, right? And Vive's always been pretty good with their accessories. I think that's what enthusiasts always like about Vive. They never buy their headsets, but they always buy their accessories. But right now, these things are hardware locked to their ecosystem. There's a promise that they're going to bring it to other headsets and like PC VR without their XR Elite, but until then, yeah, the hardware ecosystem thing is like hilarious because they're not Apple, right? You have to have a good product that everyone wants to use before you can start pushing a hardware ecosystem.
It's crazy, isn't it, when you think of what they were? What they were. Like every VR channel I knew, if I ever watched any, would have been normally wearing an HTC Vive. Like,
but they didn't, and that was Valve's headset, man. They were given that. They fucking took this amazing opportunity and they flushed it down the toilet, and they've got nothing to show for it now, except for a huge deficit. I mean, they've lost money hand over fist, right? Over how many years now?
I don't know I don't know how they make money.
I think that they're subsidized by the government. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. You can't continually lose money year over year and still exist.
We say this though. Sometimes I find out that actually in places like China, they are actually quite popular in some way.
Well, it's not just that they do have a pretty strong foothold in enterprise, right? Like location based and like schools.
Vive
and
Focus, Vive Focus 3,
Yeah.
I think it is. I see in a lot of arcades. Yeah,
they do pretty well with that side of things. They're just pretty non-existent on the consumer side of things for years now.
This was the first headset that I think they actually had a chance to do something good with, and they completely pissed it away. Like this is a good headset. This was a decent headset that they could have made better if they had just waited and maybe put the XR, the new XR2 chip in it and not the old one, and done a couple of things different, maybe marketed it a little bit different, and maybe made an ecosystem for their store to have games in for the standalone and marketed it as a standalone headset and maybe brought the price down a little bit, and they completely pissed it away. This is the typical HTC with this thing, because like I wanted this to be a great headset. We demoed this thing early on. We were pretty impressed with it, and they completely botched it, like always.
Yeah, we went to London, me and Mike, for like a hands-on in bloody hell February, and I was more impressed by them before I used them, like just picking them up without the battery and stuff, 235 grams, and I was like, wow, man, like this is pretty cool. And then I got into them and I was like, I don't know, like how much are these? And they told me, and I was like, I just can't see it. I don't know why they thought anyone else would see the point of them. If you know what
It's got to be this like really difficult balancing act putting out these VR headsets, because like, you see what Meta does behind the scenes, like when they have their Connect videos and they're showing you like all these prototypes and all this shit. Like we know that behind the scenes they have who knows how many headsets that are up and running and working, and they're like wondering whether or not they're going to bring it to a market and whether or not they can. And, I think of Lynx when we're talking about this, because like Lynx just couldn't get it out in time. Like it was like a timing issue for them. Like if they would have put that headset out when it was relevant, it maybe would have gotten some legs. Maybe people would have been using it. They could have been first to the MR scene, all that, but they just weren't able to get it out in the time when it mattered, which right now in this ecosystem, every day matters.
It's not just that as well, isn't it? It's a cascade of failures. Like it's a thing, isn't it? Of like, yeah, this headset didn't quite match up. This one, then this just come out of the blue, this random thing, which, as you said, could have been something really good.
Well, and everything has to compete with the Quest ultimately, so it's like it's like there's the Quest as like the bar as to like how good is it going to be? Is it as good as the Quest or not as good as the Quest? And now that the Quest 3 is out, there is nothing before that will be used. Like no Lynx, no XR Elite, none of this shit. So they have to like get these things out when they're still relevant before the new thing comes along that makes it not relevant anymore. And they try and they ran out of time. They just push something out and hope that a few people fucking buy it, and Skiva's out there doing it. So
Alex, it takes
He's got
time.
the hat on. He's got the hat on right now.
So
it takes time for HTC
someone
to
else
copy Meta and other companies, right? You have to
pretty much
take some time.
It was tough because the other day someone said to me, they were like, I've got a Quest 3 and a PSVR 2. I don't need anything else at the moment. But that's how they put it. Like, they buy those two headsets and they got access to everything.
Pretty
they can
accurate.
use PC
Pretty
VR.
accurate.
They got their PlayStation exclusive and they got the Quest exclusives. And you kind of sit in like, I'm all good.
Yeah.
I get it. Like,
They're
What if you
really
wanna-
good.
What if you want to play Arizona Sunshine on Steam with your Quest 3 through a link cable, and it keeps fucking giving you this line blank, whatever that shit is. Like
Use Steam Link. Steam
oh,
Link
have
is
you got? Oh,
fantastic.
are you on about like the weird like ghost thing at the bottom? Sometimes it
yes,
comes
this
up.
is
Yeah,
my
I
thing.
do
I'm
too.
just tired when people say I have a Quest 3 and I have a PlayStation VR 2. That's all I need. That's bullshit. I
It's
want
not
a
for me.
I want a PC headset. I'm just so over Meta and the things that I got to deal with, the fucking battery and the link cable that it's supposed to give me superior graphics now has all sorts of weird glitches and shit. Just give me the damn display port. Give me the Deckard, Brad. I want it. Where is it?
I'm back to using my
Deckard.
Beyond. For anyone that's curious,
Oh,
people keep
well,
asking
and
me.
I have a bone to pick with you too, because after the last
You're in
episode,
trouble, Brad. I think.
Oh my
you
god.
were raving
Oh.
about
Big
your
bonus.
micro
Don't fucking talk
OLED.
don't talk to Brad like that, man.
Your
Oh,
micro
yeah.
OLED, and then so I was on the edge of buying an OLED panel for my flat
He's
gaming.
wiggling. He's like,
And you pushed me over the edge, and now I see what you're seeing just because of the colors and
no.
how good this monitor looks. Now I want to get the big screen. Like I want OLED in my VR, like legit OLED, because this is the best display I've ever seen, best colors I've ever seen. And if I could have these colors, even in the PlayStation VR 2, which has an amazing screen, they're not these colors, and it's it's amazing. So I believe you now. You sold me.
oh, that's
But I guess
beautiful.
it's not a bone
All
to
right,
pick.
that's it.
It's-
Bruce,
it's-
just
Yeah,
go
that's
get-
the
just go
opposite
get
of
the
a
big
bone to
screen
pick.
Yeah,
it's
I got
thanking
scared
you.
for a moment.
Me too.
Right, we need to
No,
introduce Eric from QTC VR Gamer. How you doing, bro?
Screw that guy. This conversation is way better than talking to him.
Oh,
I want to hear
You
Ruth's-
gave us Dr. Pepper.
I did. I shouldn't have. I was drinking a Dr.
Right.
Pepper, and I'm like, I just happened to be like, hey, you guys have Dr. Pepper over in England?
Is
and
the
it's a
white
famous
label
thing.
is the white label the sugar-free one or something?
Yeah, this is what
Diet.
Yeah.
And you
Diet
can
Dr.
you
Pepper.
boil the diet one.
Yeah, you can cook any of them. Make them hot.
Fucking hell.
You know who likes to make them hot?
My mom.
Yeah, she does.
This shit would never happen on my show.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Alex. It's a
Yeah, because it's way too boring to have happen on that show. God, what a yawn fest that thing is.
Jesus. Okay, so thank you to Wally D's now. I think he's a game cat. Thank you ever so much for the Canadian $2. He's put Resident Evil 4 remake on PSVR 2 and Vertigo 2 coming up. PlayStation VR 2 is eating good at the moment.
Yes.
I
Hell yeah, it
agree.
is.
I agree. I'm
There's no
loving
better
it.
time to be a VR gamer. I was doing an AMA on the Ghost of Tabor Discord, and they get like 500 people live for their AMAs in their Discord. It's crazy. But there was a dude that came on live and I was asking a question. He's like, to be honest, my headset has been collecting dust and I haven't played anything for 5 months. And I'm just like, dude, if you can't find something to play right now, just sell your headset, because VR obviously is not for you in any way. Go back to flat gaming, do something else, because if you can't game now with what we have had this year, we are so spoiled. And like you said, so overcritical. I mean, we've had 2 beautiful headsets in the PlayStation and the Quest, and then all these amazing games this year. This is probably one of the best years for gaming we've seen in maybe forever.
Ever.
But it depends,
Ever,
doesn't it? Because
ever.
when you talk to Roots, for example, if I sat in a room with Roots, I'd feel like not picking my Quest up ever.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
if you're if
But
you're
this-
coming at it from a perspective of if you're looking for that AAA flat game level of gaming, like the games experience, for those type of people, then they're not gonna see what you just said, Mash. And I agree. There's amazing games and there's amazing games to play. I just gravitate towards the ones that have so much time and money put into them that it just blows my mind. Like just going in there
Visually, all about
well,
or do you mean
everything. Gameplay wise, I'll give you an example because the UEVR mod is getting ready to drop. So I've been picking up games. I've been playing, you would think it's simple, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. According to the list, it says it works very well, or perfectly well, or whatever. And I forgot how amazing this game makes Skate VR look like crap. Okay, gameplay wise, because there's so much to it that feels so good when you're doing these tricks and you're learning it. And it's in third person, but it's amazing. So I guarantee if it's as good as they say it is in the mod, it's going to be mind blowing. It's going to blow your mind.
You're still going to be tied to a controller, though, aren't you? I think because
I would rather be tied to a controller in that environment with all that shit to do than the funky controls of Skate VR and the very barren environments. And there's not much to do in it. Okay. And it's nothing against that game. It's the base level. We haven't gotten to the Tony Hawks and built from the ground up in VR. Yeah. But this mod is going to bring us to that level, and it's not going to matter if you have motion controls. And I would submit, I don't even know, like, why do we need to actually physically ride the fucking skateboard? Like, this game was designed and had so much money poured into it. I'm fucking Tony Hawk in the game. Okay. I can create myself too, but it's amazing. And so like, I think being in the VR and so as you're riding around GT, there's so many different things you need to do. So say you're collecting the letters for skate.
I have played Tony Hawk's.
So as you're doing it, right, you know, as I do, as you're playing, you can only look where the guy's going.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard but in VR, you're going to be able to look around everywhere and skate at the same time. It's going to change. It's going to be such a big change. It's going to change the entire game. And I don't know. I see the future, and I think this is the future of us getting into VR. AAA games that are going to keep the retention of these gamers that we're trying to pull in.
The thing is, even though I've used it, I still wouldn't dismiss anything else. Personally, I wouldn't. Like, I got to live my dream of Returnal, and I still wouldn't dismiss playing what I played, Assassin's Creed Nexus, or I'm playing Asgard's Wrath 2 every day, or Resident Evil. Like, I wouldn't.
I'm coming at it from a standpoint of a traditional flat gamer that won't give VR a chance at all. They don't see what you're seeing, and so like they want this level of gaming, and unless you can give it to them, they don't care about any of the shit that we've been saying or any of these games. And so it's kind of, we're in this weird place until we get those people in, because like Wes says, I could give a shit. I don't care about what they want. I care about what we want. We want that level to rise to that level. And until they're in the ecosphere, the devs won't spend the money. And so where this mod is going to change things, the devs are going to realize, I guarantee it, especially Epic, that there's money to be made here, and there's a whole audience of people that they can bring their games to, and it's not as hard as it's being made to be. As long as the VR community is not saying it has to be everything's got to be sixed off, everything's got to be hand presence.
But what you're giving them is the tools actually to kind of, like, you and me will step into it, and I think within an hour you'll play. As I said, I don't know if you saw it. There was a game called Ill Will in my video. I don't know if you watched my video, but there's a game called Ill Will. It's not expensive. It's an indie game, right? And in that part of my video, it goes from a flat screen game with a gamepad into 3DoF, then into 6DoF, and then he maps out this gun into 6DoF, and then suddenly you're playing a VR game. Like, it's within less than 3 minutes. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. But what I kind of think of is, what about when people get a hold of it and they start adding other mechanics to games? You're kind of giving them an engine to do stuff. Like, when the people who know what the fuck they're doing, where does it go? Like, that's kind of when I think it'd be special. Like, you'd have people like me and you messing around with like Robocop in 6DoF, like, yeah, this is brilliant, and then someone to take it that extra step. And yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Like the mod to mod the mod even more, kind of thing. Make it awesome.
I think it's always going to be hard to get the flat gamer into VR that doesn't understand it until they put a headset on, because that's the hardest thing, is to explain what VR is without showing. A lot of people.
We had people do that, Mash, with Alex.
But to me,
and they said they came in and they played the game and then they put it down because that was the level was set up where they're playing. They're used to playing that level, so it doesn't matter how much they understand VR. But the gaming, the level of the game isn't there.
Right, but to me, the discussion's not about bringing people into VR. The discussion is about people in VR saying there's nothing to play currently in VR. That's the discussion, and that's where I see a disconnect. Again, Are we ever going to be able to get every flat person into VR? Probably not. I mean, not until to the point where it's just a pair of glasses we're putting on and that's it, or it's cloud streaming into glasses. We're not going to get those people all the time, and we have to be resigned to that fact. But when we lose people that are currently in VR, that's where it hurts the most right now, because we can't afford to lose those people. So when I have somebody who is in VR, who has a VR headset, who is, has been into it for a long time, and it's like, no, I'm noping out because there's nothing to play right now. That's where I have the biggest issue right now. To me, it's like I said, getting mass adoption is going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of technology boosts that we haven't seen yet. It's losing the people that we currently have is what we can't afford to do.
Well, we still got Apple Pro coming out in January. Like, who knows?
Supposedly,
Yeah. But who knows how that's going to affect the wave?
True.
Well, probably not too much if we're talking about games, right?
Probably not too much about games, but I imagine just in searching virtual reality itself, you will find a certain thing. Like literally today, someone posted on Twitter about how they used to love the FMV cutscenes of games, similar to Seventh Guest. Like you have the real people and stuff. And also, dude, this is available in virtual reality. And you couldn't believe it. He was just like, no way. Like what? How haven't I heard of this? So, and I think that search of VR suddenly, all them thousands of people.
One thing that I think would really, really help is if more games follow kind of the precedent that Hello Games has set with No Man's Sky, where they allow the game to be like almost focused as a flat screen experience, but fully playable and fully enjoyable also simultaneously as a VR game. Like I can choose on the day whether or not I want to put my headset on or play it on flat screen. I think that as an option in these like bigger games is a huge ticket to getting the kind of adoption that Roots is talking about, because this game that they just announced, Light No Fire, is an MMO with a single instance the size of one planet, which sounds exactly like the kind of game I know Roots is trying to play. And if they make that shit VR accessible
they will.
As well, right? Like then now we have it. Like that's the game. That is it right there. So if they can do that, if Grand Theft Auto somehow adds a VR support at some point, like those huge titles having VR support officially added to them and allowing us to choose whether or not we want to be in either VR or flat, I think is the ticket. I think that will really help us get there.
Yep. Hybrid games, they call it.
Yep.
And so right now, Sony's the only one doing it. And that's what I was trying to say on the show last night. And you've got, how many this year now? So 4? Has it been 4 so far or 3? With
4,
GT7.
5. Well, it depends if you count No Man's Sky as this year, but I would say the PSVR 2 is the best version of that game. So I would count that as well.
Right. So like
5.
you're getting, there's not many games where, and with the big IPs, where we get the full game that the flat gamers get. Like the exact game brought into VR. And Sony's the only one funding it, with Capcom specifically. Which is good, right? And we want to see more of it. But to me, it shows that Sony is committed to bringing AAA games to VR. It's just we're not happy with the speed of it or being kept in the dark of it as well.
It's just amazing. Yeah, I'm not going to get too negative on it. But anyway, moving on. Thank you ever so much to Fifth, I think, for the donation, $2 donation. Do you have a movie? This is completely flipping the script, by the way. Do you have a movie or TV show you watch each Christmas? Let's start with Wes.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We watch it with our kids every year.
Ooh,
I'm surprised that they still show it, man.
Which
I always
one?
get cracked up.
Like
the original Rudolph. Like
with
1955. Girl Ives.
the minor guy, what was his name?
Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
the
what
one.
this is. I've never heard of it.
It's
What?
stop
Oh my God,
stop
my-
motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Yeah.
Reindeer.
Classic. Good
I
one.
can't believe you haven't seen that. That's
What's
I'm
the
gonna-
elf's name that wanted to be a dentist?
Right, hold on.
Hermie.
Yeah.
Right, what's it called? Sorry.
Hermie doesn't like to make toys.
You need
Rudolph
to watch that.
the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
GT, watch that this year with your
Oh,
family.
man.
What is it
Drink
called?
Warmed up Dr. Pepper.
Rudolph.
Pretty
Called
good.
Rudolph the
Reindeer.
Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It's just called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay,
Oh,
maybe
it's
I have
so
seen it.
good. Classic.
I love it. I love that it still comes on, even in today's like super PC age. This thing comes on, and in the middle of it, like Rudolph's lost out in the snowy blizzard, and his dad's going out to find him, and then like the wife wants to go with him, and he just turns around and says, "No, this is man's work."
That show would
Really?
not go over today. If that was a new show today, you'd never get it out there. And there's like all kinds of inclusion and occlusion with groups and like making fun of Rudolph because he's got a red nose. And
bullies. They're
you can't
mean.
play in our games because you're different. Oh my God! Today that
Wait.
show would be burnt. They'd be burned at the stake for bringing that show out.
So
Today.
Wes, is this a childhood show of yours, or has it been
Yeah,
around?
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
from
I
the
watch it
70s.
every year on network television.
I think I'm
Which
looking
one's-
at it. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Stop motion. Yeah, old stop
It's
motion.
it's the only Rudolph movie or whatever you want to call it that's got a dentist in it.
That's
So,
true.
That-
And a Bumble.
and a Bumble.
Okay,
Bumble.
Brad,
Hang out
what
with the
about you? What's your yearly movie or TV
Probably
show?
Elf with Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
Good one.
Elf's a good
Yeah,
one.
it's
Do you know
good one.
that they're doing Krispy Kreme are doing Elf donuts at the moment?
I've seen it. Yeah,
Real
I've
awesome.
seen it.
They look so good, dude. Oh. What about you, Alex?
I like Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas
Yeah, that's a
Vacation.
good
Sick.
one.
Very good.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Skeever?
Merry Christmas.
Mine's Elf. I watch it every year, and every year I laugh until I cry.
Okay.
I love it.
Mhm.
what,
I laugh so hard. I love that movie.
what about you? What about you, Roots?
I think Christmas Vacation is it. I think it's the best. Like
It's
there's
really
just
good.
so many good moments in that thing. Just craziness the entire way. My favorite part is when they're all standing outside and they got the lights on and he's like all so proud of it, and then all of a sudden Eddie's there and he's just like it's just so funny, his hillbilly relative. And I don't know if you've watched it, right, GT?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I don't know it exactly, but I do know the film you're talking about, and I have seen it, and National Lampoon. I have seen that as well.
Theater was
Good
full.
one.
What about
Yes,
you?
the shitter was full.
What about you,
Theater was
Eric?
full.
So I have two actually. When I was growing up, it was, and still today, it was Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It was a classic. Look it up; it's fantastic.
Black and white?
No. This
Yeah.
isn't black and
Yeah,
white.
it was. It was black and white.
Listen to me.
Did they didn't have?
You don't-
I don't
you
think they
don't
had.
This was
know
film
before
back then.
talkies.
Listen. This is stop motion, just like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Look up Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It is one of the best
I don't know. It's spelled out.
Christmas shows ever. And then Christmas Story became my one when I was older. I
yeah.
just thought it was super funny. I love A Christmas Story. The 24 hours of A Christmas Story that TBS, I think it's TBS or one of the TNT or whatever ones. They do 24. They play it 24 hours straight from Christmas Eve to through Christmas Day. I think it's one of the best things you see, and I can just literally just sit there and watch it over and over and over again. It's such a good one.
That is awesome. I like that. Mine is the film called The Snowman. I think it is like an animation. I don't know how big it is in the States or anything, but that's pretty much what we watch as a family every year. Personally, I think my favorite, and this always causes problems, is probably Die Hard. Like I for some reason I like
yeah.
Die Hard 1
Well,
and 2.
because people say it's not a Christmas movie.
I'm sure
and
they
it is a
both got Christmas trees in, haven't they? Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's all
Yeah,
takes
that
place
one's
during
like
Christmas.
Christmas by association. It's like not
Come on.
intended to be a Christmas movie, but since it takes place during Christmas time, it kind of counts.
I'll take it because it's a badass movie. I agree.
Oh,
You know, there's another
yeah.
movie in that category I love, and it's Ryan Reynolds' Just Friends. It's not exactly a Christmas movie, but it takes place during Christmas, and it stars Anna Faris as well, who is fucking hilarious in that movie. So if you've never seen that one and you're looking for a comedy during Christmas, Just Friends is not a bad choice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and shout out Bad Santa too.
Oh
Bob
yeah,
Thornton.
who doesn't love that?
no, I'm looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
all the comments here. Everyone's
Yeah,
pretty.
shout out to Mike GC. Mike GC, he knows Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas and Artful.
I've
It
got
was Emmett Otter was reimagined for Zootopia.
I've only just watched, like, within the last 7 days, It's a Wonderful Life. I've never seen it
Really?
before. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you tear up? Did you want to change your life?
No.
Oh.
No.
No?
But,
Do you have no
No.
heart?
I have
Tear up at the end of that movie?
I have nothing to regret so far. I'm happy with the choices I made. But yeah, it's it was actually quite good, but I think my wife was like, turn this off. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I like it. But, yeah, it was all right. It was good. It's good to see everyone chatting about this stuff. Gremlins. I don't know, man. That
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, Gremlins.
That was awesome.
It was scary,
That was
man.
a good one.
It was scary. And then I remember really being scared about, because I used to hang around with my two old best friends who are, they're who I named my son after. They were like 3 or 4 years older than me. So I'd always be doing things that I probably shouldn't have been doing. And I remember like they used to sneak me into the cinema and they were like, yeah, we're going to go see Gremlins 2. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that means I've got to have nightmares for like the next 6 months. I sat in that cinema and it was just a comedy all the way through. Like, yeah, it was just funny. Like with the boss-eyed guy and fucking all that. It was quite good. It was quite good. But yeah, we need to get back to VR somehow.
I have a question. I am gearing up to play Arizona Sunshine 2. Really excited.
You have not been in there yet at all then?
I have not been in it.
What's
Yeah,
What's the gearing up process you have?
Well, I'm anticipating it and creating the space in my life to execute it.
I gotcha.
And that's happening this week. And I have access to it on the Quest, amazingly, thanks to my good pal Skiva. But I'm looking at my PlayStation VR and I'm like, oh man, is that the better way to do this? So I'm curious, like, should I be playing this shit on PlayStation?
The best way is PC.
Am I good on
the best way?
There's a little bit of reprojection in the PlayStation.
The best way is PC without a doubt, but PlayStation is pretty close.
Yeah,
Well, the
I love the
PC
PlayStation for the
looked
colors.
good, but it kept crashing. Like
So
I
I had
could
the
get its way.
opposite.
It kept crashing for me.
I had 8 crashes on the PlayStation VR 2 account.
Yeah,
I had
PlayStation
fatal error
were a lot.
crashes. Fatal error crashes, and it would come up on my screen. It says, "Do you want to report to PlayStation?" I've never seen that message before,
Really?
and I had 8 of them in the one place.
But your
I had yesterday leading up to the
PlayStation's
show.
blurry though.
I don't know.
It's funny.
Turn your eye
and I
tracking
had-
back on, bro.
Yeah, right.
I had
Did it feel-
no crashes on PC, but I had a crash playing it on Quest.
Oh,
Wow.
that's kind of well. I guess there's
Yeah.
crashes on everything. GT, when I was playing, I looked at my FPS VR, and it was using 18 gigabytes of VRAM
Wow.
off of my 4090.
Do you
And
think-
not saying obviously it scales, so I mean, but
Does
I
it-
just
I was
thought
gonna say, does it use it? 'cause
Did it
has
look insane?
it looked
it has it
really good.
available?
But this is the thing. I cranked it up to 1.3 in game, but I couldn't believe I just didn't expect to look down and see that. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of VRAM.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's not many graphics cards that have that.
No, and Wes was having crashes and with his G. I think that's why if you don't have much as much VRAM, you are potentially it could cause issues.
I've only got I've got a 3080 Ti. I don't know what the VRAM of that is, but I had no
That's
issues.
12. You got 12.
Yeah,
12
so
gigabytes.
I was on a 3080 Ti recording, and I think I still had 30-40% headroom, and I upscaled it, super sampled it, I think it is, to 1.2. Yeah, and I had everything on.
What is your processor? I don't know. So if it can't get enough from the VRAM, where does it pull it from? And does it need to pull it from anything else, or does
And
it?
does it upscale your VRAM if you have it available, Roots? Is that why it's using so much?
I guess it
Like
just
because it's there, it
uses-
might use it. I don't know.
It uses, yeah. It's like, hey, if you got it, why not run it
Yeah.
smoother? On,
Yeah,
Because I would
the
have to
way it
assume that
works-
most people don't have it. Like, because so if you I don't know, it wouldn't run if you use it.
Yo, Dan Kitty VR, how is it on that 1070? Because I have a 1070 in my PC as well, and I'm thinking there's no way in hell I'm playing this game on my PC compared to my PlayStation. But I mean, I would like to get the best experience, so I'm willing to. If the 1070 would do better than my PS5,
1070.
I like, dude.
That's
I had a
insane.
1070
That-
Super at one
A
point. That was
46
How old's
a
the, how old's the
4060 's
hamster that's running it?
A 4060 is like 400 quid, isn't it? A 4060 is like quite cheap, isn't it? For
Something like that. The
Yeah,
30 I
Dan
saw a
Kitty
30
says it struggles, but
3070
playable.
Ti for $399 the other day.
But I feel like I just need everything, right? Like I can't just buy a
Yeah.
badass
Well,
video
Alex,
card.
Alex,
Like,
what's
power
your
supply.
machine do
Alex,
at this point?
you can
Yeah.
get a 4060 Ti for it's £379 here. Like, so that'd be like.
But then what about my
$407.
motherboard and my power supply? Like, can those things handle that?
Just chuck it in
Probably
there.
not, right?
What is your power supply? What do you
Just
have?
chuck it in and see what happens.
Well, I have.
That's what I did.
I don't know. It's from the era of the 1070. You know, I have an
gotcha.
Alienware PC. You
See,
know, I'm sure
Alex
everything
is
needs to be
smart. He
upgraded.
knows. He's like, because you go down that road, all of a sudden you're fucking changing this and that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I just need a new computer.
Yeah, but literally at 1070, you're gonna have a tough time running anything
Right.
new on that now. I mean, you're gonna have to think about it because it is PC. I think it is probably the best way to play. I mean, but man, it looks beautiful on the PlayStation. The colors, because of what that deserty kind of color and everything that's there, super vibrant on the PlayStation. It's
Yeah.
But it sounds like
Yeah,
the Quest 3 is a noticeable decrease in quality.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's good though.
It's
is
not
good.
bad.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
no,
I heard the loading
PD
times are really bad, like
They are.
minutes,
The load times
minutes,
suck.
minutes of loading time.
Two minutes at plus on
Oh
something.
my
Yeah.
god.
That's not good.
Because the
Well,
the harder the game, the more zombies you have on screen at certain points. So obviously, if you die in the middle of a bit, like I think the worst one was when you went through the airport.
Mm.
And there was one point where I died, and do you know, it was like I wasn't trying harder because I wanted to get through the segment. I just didn't want to fucking see another loading screen. I was like, I got to get good now. I cannot fucking sit here and watch this game load again. So yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I totally did it wrong. I played through on the PC on normal, and now I'm playing through on the Quest on hard. So those load screens they're tough.
They are tough.
They're tough.
But the game, I think, is really impressive for a Quest game. Like
Mhm.
loads amount of
Yeah.
zombies on screen is
Yeah.
really smart.
They've got it down.
Especially
I mean,
that
literally,
last
Vertigo's
level.
got it down.
Like what?
Oh, the last level with the minigun. Yeah,
Dude.
that's fucking.
Dude, it's like it looks like there's millions.
I
It's
left
insane.
that out of my video because I didn't want to kind of show a spoiler, but
Yeah.
I was so tempted to show it because you can't
It's
help.
such a wow moment.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
see that, you're like, "Gee, that is impressive."
And
Such
now
a
you
wow
both just put
moment.
it out there.
Yeah, I was
Killed
gonna
it.
say you left it out so that you could tell everybody here. Alex is getting ready to go in for the first time.
Alex is like, la,
"Hey,
la, la,
let me
Now
tell
I
you
don't
about
even
the
need to
last-"
play it. I don't even need to play it anymore.
Oh yes,
I'm pretty
gearing up.
anti-spoiler, but that's
Oh.
not enough to upset me.
has anyone else? Has Eric turned the lights out for everyone else?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone.
Oh shit, am I
You're
gone?
gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
my
gone,
camera
brother.
might have went to sleep. Hang on, sorry. What
He
the
must
hell,
have
dude?
done something weird with his hands or something.
Yeah, but if he leaves and
spilled
comes
his
back,
milk.
there we
No,
go.
my camera just went to sleep
He
for some reason.
spilled some hot Dr Pepper on his camera. Fucked it right up. What I was going to say, yeah, quick discussion because it's been something that's been going around on my Twitters and DMs and stuff. What was your playtime so far? What is your playtime if you haven't completed it so far of Arizona, and on what difficulty?
I
Mine
am
is-
to the part where I'm headed down the train tracks, headed to
I love
meet
that
the
level.
guy on the radio. So
I love
I've
that
gotten
level.
through like the meth lab, and I just took care of my
We know not to
okay.
talk about.
yeah. So yeah, I just did that, and I'm headed to meet the guy that was on the radio. That's where I am.
And how long is that taking you to get to roughly? do
I
you
Did you
think?
go on the radio?
I think that's about
good.
70. I'm probably about, I think it says 70. It said 66 to 70% completed on the game on PlayStation. And I think that's probably 5-6 hours. I played an hour on Steam before I even went into the PlayStation game. And I played the bulk on the PlayStation. So I'm
So-
probably 6 or 7 hours in.
So if I asked you to quote me roughly what you think right now is the game time at that percentage, what would you call it?
So now I play through and I look at absolutely everything. So I go to every drawer and I'm looking through everything. So I'm not powering through this thing, but probably I would say with the percentage of completion of game, I'm saying it's got to be 12 hours for me.
Fair enough. Yeah. What any of you boys?
Yeah, it took me 6 hours and 15 minutes. And I took my time, I checked out a lot of stuff.
I played on
Yeah.
hard too, by the way, right from the beginning. So just so you know, and I died.
That makes a difference too.
I died
'cause
a
if
lot,
You
especially in
die,
the airport.
yeah, all that
around
time.
the-
It's
yeah.
going to add time, right? All that. But what you said, even without the loading time, the times that I had where had to go back and kill everything. It just took so much time to redo it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Wes? How far are you? Are you enjoying it and stuff?
I'm about halfway, and I'm according to PlayStation, which is where my longest sessions are on. I'm about 5 hours in. I just cleared the Motel 9 with the swimming pool and all that.
Yeah.
You're right
and,
about with me, I would say, gameplay wise then.
Yeah.
And time wise.
Nice. Yeah. It's just come up the other day because basically, if you watch IGN's video, they quoted 15 hours. But if you
Wow.
listen to it, he actually says the single player campaign took him 17. And
Wow.
then somehow he quotes 15 at the
17?
end. Yeah.
That's
But-
I don't know how you could get 17.
The thing is, right, this is where I think you can have a discussion of how long could the game what would the game offer you if you accounted for single player and co-op? Like, then I could possibly see the 15 range, because in co-op you just fuck around. Like you do, you mess around, you have a good time. I can see that. But yeah, on the hardest setting, I'm similar to you, Skeever. It took me, and I did take away the loading screens because I don't class that as gameplay. And I did try and look at everything and do everything, and it was 5 hours and 46 minutes for me personally. But yeah, it was just it's one of those things, you know, where I think some people were really put off by hearing that. I think it was Benjo actually. He quoted 4 hours for the whole game, and I was just
insane.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the thing is, people do get through games fast sometimes, you know,
Right.
for reviews, and I get that. But I think you have to state that. Like, you'd have to say, yeah, I didn't look at anything, I didn't do this. I don't know, I haven't watched his video. But what I was then getting on my video was people like going, this game is really overpriced for what they're quoting. And I think, obviously, whoever does their mock reviews has probably quoted them 15 hours, and they've gone, yeah, we could charge $50 for this. So yeah,
I would think
can't
it's fair to say
imagine-
8 to 10 hours, like right there.
Yeah, I think so too. And I can't imagine being in a state like Benjo must be in, where you get a game like this, highly anticipated, beautiful game, and clearly he's just powering through it, right? Like,
yeah.
I just can't imagine playing like that. Like, I like to really take it in and enjoy the world that I'm in outside of the gameplay and everything. I just love being in these worlds too much to waste a game by pressing through like that. I couldn't imagine,
And it's not just
putting myself
Beardo, right? Like if you go onto YouTube and you look at all the playthroughs, all the full game playthroughs, they're all about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. It's just
that's
people
true, but-
trucking through. They're just
Well,
going.
that's true, but you got
You know?
to realize too, when you see that, we always see that with these games. What people do, because they don't want to look bad on their videos or streams, they'll play through the game once or twice first, and then they'll come back and record their definitive playthrough after they know everything that's going to happen and where everything's coming from, and that artificially knocks hours off
Yeah,
of it when
and
you
cut
already know
out
what's
and
gonna
like
happen.
cut the deaths and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
You're not showing
course.
anytime you die or anytime you have to
Mhm.
wait or you have to do this. And, you know, there's things to find in here too. Like, I mean, it does get a little monotonous with some of the things that you find that you don't, after a while, you're like, do I really need to go find this stuff? Because shit's
Can't
kind of
carry it.
everywhere.
Can't
You
carry it.
can't, yeah, their inventory system kind of sucks. And you can't, and even if you do, like, if you go, like, they have this thing now where you need to go find like resources to be able to get to build stuff. The problem is you don't really need it. So like after a while, I'm like,
Yeah.
do I really need to go and look in this other room? And I'm like, okay, I don't really think I need to anymore, but I still want to because there are collectibles that you can find that are part of the game for me. Like, you know, going and hunting down the little dinosaur that I want to go find or whatever, or figuring out how I get it with the dog, or I don't know. There's just different things that I want to see. And I want to see every part of the map. And I want to me, I'm like, if there's a zombie alive on the map, I'm going to kill it. Even if it's
Yeah.
one. So like if there's one that's like on the ground way over in this area where I don't need to go, I'm going over and I'm going to kill
That's
it.
what killed me
because
about
I
that
want to kill it.
that airport sequence, right? Where they're just everywhere and the
Mm.
thing doesn't stop and let you kill them all. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Did
I
you
wanna
get
kill
to
all
the
of them.
part where you're on top of the gas station with the rifle?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I want to
that's the
kill
part.
every zombie up there with the rifle. And I sat there for probably 30 minutes just shooting with the rifle. And it was super cool. I just had fun. So I could kill time in the game, having a blast doing those things. Like I want to enjoy it. Like I was trying to get through it too, because because for the show last night, I wanted to get through as much as I could, but I still wanted to have fun doing it. Like, man, I know that we're all trying to do this for like, you know, for content, but man, if we get to the point where we're just powering through games and not having fun with it, I mean,
It's not
I mean,
worth it.
he's very good at games, though. I mean, he is very good. But I wouldn't say I was shit, but I reckon I
you beat
found
the whole
something.
thing, right?
I beat the whole thing, and I played it 70% on. I'd already played a lot of it on PC anyway, actually, because I had early access. But and then I played, I think, up to 70% on PSVR 2, just to get until when I realised that the PC and PSVR 2 actually had exactly the same flaws. I was like, I don't think I need to complete it again. But I reckon I found something that you guys haven't in there.
Ooh, like an Easter egg or like a
Yeah, an
or
Easter
a-
egg. Yeah, an Easter egg.
Hmm.
Do you want me to tell you? Did any of you find a DVD case?
Yes. I
Shit!
was like,
not.
oh my god, this is
Oh yeah, yeah,
awesome.
I saw that.
I did
It
not.
was on the countertop in that one like storefront, right?
Yeah.
Oh, go on, tell me, Ski, what did you find?
Was it before the fall?
Before the fall.
Yeah.
The DVD.
Before the fall. I
So
like
where
it.
did you find it, Wes? Because I found it hanging off a zombie.
It was
Oh,
in
you
the
did?
mall. It was in the mall when you're going through those stores, and when you're getting ready to go in through that door where you have to use the key to get through the door in the back of that store.
Yeah.
On that counter there's the DVD case.
Yeah.
It's a popular movie. It's
Oh.
everywhere, probably. Everybody watches that.
Before
Did
the
you
fall.
did you find
before the
beer
fall.
beer pong game
Oh,
in the
thank
cups
you.
and the beer
Yeah,
pong?
I played some beer
I so did
pong.
I sat there for 20 minutes playing beer pong. That's what I'm saying. I get into these games. I'm like, okay, it's meant for me to go do these things, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, first time me and Mike played one level in co-op, it's 45 minutes. Because you're just fucking around, putting the dog in a trolley.
Right.
So, but
I love that
Putting
dog.
hats
It's
on the
like-
putting hats on the dog. I mean,
Yeah.
every hat I found, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put the fire hat.
Did you
on,
put
or
the
cowboy hat?
the chicken bucket on him? You can do
No,
that.
no, I didn't put. I put it on me for Buckethead. Yeah, I put it on me. I didn't put it on the dog.
Big shout out to Mickey Bear. Mickey Bear. Can you change your name, sir? For people like
Do it for
me who are
GP.
dyslexic, man, we struggle. He's just dropping games through the chat as always. Thank you ever so much, dude. I hope people thank you. I hope they just don't take the codes and don't say thank you, you know, because you're so fucking amazing, dude. Major T, I think I missed this one somehow. Thank you ever so much for the £5 donation. Resi 4 VR mode is the perfect hybrid game. This is what Sony should be pushing to get flat screen gamers into VR, minimal VFAR controls and AAA games.
I agree. 100%.
Agreed.
Good, man.
100%.
It's good. I didn't expect it to be as RE4 as it was, right? If you watch the trailer, it looks like a whole like brand new game that's completely different from the original. But once you get in there and you start playing it, you very much recognize this game, right? Even with the new visuals and all the new mechanics, this is still a very RE4 experience, even right down to the fucking QuickTime events and everything.
I actually
Yeah,
like
I-
them. I actually like the third person transitions, but some people really hate them.
I don't
Wait,
hate
we
them or
completely
like
moved
them.
on to
I'm
Resident
fine with
Evil?
it.
Because
We're not
'Cause I-
committed to that. No.
no, I just want to say about Arizona Sunshine real quick. too,
Sorry.
that the guns in that game feel
good.
so good. They're all taken from pretty much after the
After
fall.
the fall, I was gonna say it's very after
Right.
the folly, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same
and-
engine, yeah.
It's the same, and the same guns, like the shotguns are the same. There's the LMG, like all of it. It just feels friggin'
I haven't found
Awesome.
the LMG yet.
oh so good, man.
Dude, I drink
good.
I got Las Plagas G Fuel.
Oh, that's sick.
It is so sick, dude. And I
That
drink
is
it.
so
What does
every-
it taste like with milk in it?
I would have
Milk
to
and
tell
Las
you.
Plagas. Who
Heat it
doesn't
up
love
on
with
the
milk and
stove.
Las Plagas?
Bradley's gone
Really?
offline.
What?
Oh, he's not feeling well.
No, bless him. Oh, he's actually gone. But at least he's left his computer on for a minute, or everyone's head's going to
Yeah.
get chopped in half.
Yeah,
yeah.
Skiba, I was just gonna say you know what I love too about Resident before we move on is I like the way they use the dog. I thought was really well. Like,
Yes.
who doesn't love having a dog pet in the game, like a
Dude.
companion, which is super
So
cool, which completely pulls on my emotions later in the game. I mean, like completely.
Mm.
And then like but being able to like put weapons on the dog, I think was super smart. I wish I could put more weapons on it, but like a long
Mhm.
gun, you can only put like handguns on them. But that was kind of a cool idea to have like the added thing to like do that. But having to be able to go fetch stuff and like use it for attacks,
Attack.
I thought was super.
Yeah.
I would like
Who's
to attach a minigun to him.
Yeah.
That'd be
sick.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. You know, it'd
That'd
be-
be so sick.
what game
My
does
favorite
that?
video game dog by
Is that,
far.
is that Return to Castle Wolfenstein has the dogs with guns on them?
Laser beams, sharks with laser beams.
Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
Something like that. Yeah, so obviously we had Arizona Sunshine 2. I think he's had a very good reception, as far as I know, but
I haven't looked. Has it? I mean, I've been trying to stay away from it until I played it myself. So I've stayed away from everything. What is it getting a good reception?
I mean, according to their Twitter page, they're posting all the positive numbers, and there's a lot of them. So
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody give it a bad review yet. Like a bad review.
mate, I loved it. Like,
I think it's worth the price.
I played it
Same.
3 times through, so
It's
pretty
absolutely
much.
worth the price.
So I had a really
Yeah,
good
I mean, I
time.
think it is on the high side, but to me, it's like what we've been wanting. Like we want these full blown, feels like a AAA game to me in VR. And like I know it's expensive for a VR game, but man, you got to make money on these games. If you're going to put this much money into them, you're going to put millions of dollars into them. You got to get it out in some way, and can't do that charging $15.99 for every game. And this is a game that should be $50 or $60.
I agree. It's quality,
So,
man. This is a quality game. And I got to tell you, you can actually put grenades, shove them in the zombies' mouths, and they waddle around with
Oh,
the grenade
yeah.
and explode.
What? I didn't do
Let's
that.
Actually,
I
shove
still
it
haven't
in their
done that. I
mouths.
forgot you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I
literally
can you take
forgot
one
I
of
could
the grenade sticks and shove it up their ass and
That'd be great.
that would
I
be
didn't
cool.
try that though.
I'm doing it right now. I gotta go. I'm gonna be like Brad. I gotta go.
So the triangulator asked, Team Haru or Team Buddy? And I've got a bone to pick with Haru because Haru always does this. He's such an attention hound. Like years ago, the Blair Witch VR game came out and it had a dog in it and it was amazing. But Haru had to come along to steal that attention. So there couldn't just be one VR dog, there was 2. And now we've got Buddy. Everybody loves Buddy. And well, we got to re-release Arashi again and bring Haru right back. Can't let anybody get that doggy shine. So
Yeah.
I'm Team Buddy here.
Is it
And,
Buddy or
Haru-
Wolfie?
Team Buddy, all the way.
Was it Buddy or Wolfie?
Has anyone played? So I played Arashi a while ago in early access, and I just haven't. I didn't find it that much different to how it was before.
It's not that much different to how it was before. It's
I've seen people
it looks
calling
better
it
now.
a trashy,
Ouch!
It's not trashy. It's a good.
a
it's a
trashy,
decent
a
game.
trashy. That's what.
Oh, a trashy. Never mind. That's different.
A trashy.
a trashy.
Oh, that's okay then.
No, if you're expecting a rebuild of the game or remake, then you're going to be sorely disappointed here. It's basically a remaster, right? It's the same game. Now you've got motion controls instead of move controllers. And now everything looks crisp, where before it was blurry and shimmery. But it's very much the same game as it was before. I liked the game before, and I like it now. It is a little bit dated in the melee aspect of it. Melee games today have good weapon physics and heavy parrying and stuff. It's very repetitive and easy in Arashi. But the good thing is that you don't have to fight that way. There are ranged weapons. There's a ton of different things that you can do and different ways to go about playing that game. I think it's good. It's fine.
I
It
thought
is
it
still
looked really good when I played it at Gamescom. I
Yeah.
thought it looked
Yeah.
really nice.
It looked awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it- yeah.
they hyped it up a little too much.
I think-
that it's like a definitive, it's the same game. You know what I mean? Nothing besides the visuals, not much change to it. And I think they kind of got people thinking it was going to be a different game, and then
I
when it
think-
wasn't, people got disappointed.
I think when people saw Skydance involved, they expected something else when they're just publishing it. Like they probably not had anything to do with the development of this. So I think that's a thing. People see
Well,
Skydance and
the most significant thing about it by far is that now you can play it on PC and you can play it on Quest, where it was a PlayStation exclusive before.
has anyone tried it
so
on
now-
any of those platforms as well? Because I imagine the Quest is a rebuild. Like you can't just port over a PlayStation game.
I heard the Quest version has problems. They never sent me the Quest key for it for some reason, strangely. But I heard the
It's
Quest
odd.
version has problems.
Right. Oh, Artful says Arashi is the worst game of 2023.
Oh, come on now.
Wow.
Every game's the worst game of the year.
Yeah.
It's not the worst game of the year. Go play VR Pigeons.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You convinced me, buddy. I'm Team Buddy.
Yeah, I'm Team Buddy.
Buddy?
man. I'm Team Buddy.
How about the Melee and Arizona Sunshine too? I mean, I didn't.
Dude, so
it
good.
doesn't last, but it's so good. It's like I just feel like a badass.
It's
Dude,
a-
at one time I was like dual fisting cleavers.
Oh
And
god.
just like going like nuts, man, just chopping through hordes of zombies. You get to the swimming pool scene, I'm just like dual fisting cleavers in there.
Do you know who else likes a dual fisting?
My
Cleavers of love.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
Thank
Yeah, she
you.
does.
I know. Well, it's
Alex
so
is
obvious.
the problem is Alex is sitting here through this whole conversation going, "What the fuck?" Yeah,
He's already muted us.
I would have like I would have like left when Brad left.
It's it's ultimately it's on me. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like,
It is your fault. Yeah.
yeah, it's my fault. So every now and then I just got to take it.
You're gonna love
so-
it though. I mean, I kind of envy you though because you get to do it again right now for the first time, which is kind of cool, right? Like,
And I love co-op. So if you're out
Yep.
there and you've also been sleeping on this and you want to play through this game with me, hit me up.
I'll play it. I'm not sleeping on it. I'll play it co-op. I haven't played a co-op yet, by the way.
I haven't either.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Me neither.
yeah,
So
so
I
Boys,
play
you're
this with
missing
other
out. One of the
people.
Well,
best
we
ways to
all
play
love
it.
each other, but we're not doing anything co-op together.
I know that's fucked up.
That
We're
is
also
awesome.
busy. It's like, oh, I have a minute right now. It's do or die. Let's go.
All right, let's it. Good night, everybody.
Mhm.
I was going to say something and I forgot. Oh yeah. Thank you ever so much to Alexander for the $5 donation. Hey y'all, love the show. Greetings from West Virginia. I hope Resident Evil 4 comes to mixed reality. I doubt it, but I love mixed reality more than full VR. I don't know how that would happen, but
Cool, though.
Oh, it would
If it
happen the
happens, it
way
happens.
everyone else does it, right? They're going to put a hole in your wall, and zombies are going to come through.
oh, did you guys try the Light Brigade mixed reality yet?
Not yet.
No.
I'm looking forward to it though.
It looks great though. I played the trailer the other day during my show, and I was like, I hadn't seen it yet. I was kind of blown away about what they did.
I've
with
heard
it.
the
It looks
Quest
pretty
3
cool.
looks they've done some really good enhancements to Quest 3. And
There's
it-
too much to play, man. Literally, there's too much to play.
know.
I can't
There's
find
no
time.
game. Shut your mouth. There's nothing to play.
My headset's got dust on it.
Imagine trying to fucking review Asgard's Wrath, mate. That's all I
Oh
want
my
to say.
god, dude! And then RE4 and like Arashi and like
Yeah.
When we
gotta
talk
find
about
time,
that,
I still want to get like when is Vertigo 2 is got to be coming to PlayStation VR 2 soon, right? Isn't it?
month.
This
It's
is it a
delayed.
month? Oh, okay.
It's delayed
What
by a
else we got?
month?
Yeah, that's
No,
what somebody
no,
said
it's-
last night.
I
I
thought
thought
it
I
was still
heard
coming
that.
in
no, it was
December.
delayed. It's been a month since their initial release date. Is what they mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so there was only a couple of days then, right?
No, it's day to day right now. They
Yeah.
found a small bug in it, and they want it to be perfect, so they decided not to launch. It's a bug that doesn't affect everyone. It's intermittent, which makes it a little bit harder to pin down. But it's nothing major, nothing game breaking. If they launched, it would have been fine. But they want it to be perfect. So kudos to
Yeah, which is good. Be perfect.
Yeah.
There's too much to play now anyway.
Yeah.
I know what the bug is, and I tried to get around it with what they told me wouldn't cause the bug, and I found another bug.
Oh, shit.
Ah,
So I emailed him, and he was like, "Yeah, thanks for that." And I was like, "Oh," but yeah, it should be all good, man. Like when it's I'd rather everyone get this
Wait.
game in the right. Yeah, dude. Like if I was just PlayStation, mate, I'd be just smashing Resident Evil 4 right now. Like.
Dude.
Loving it. Loving
Game's
it.
so good.
So
As you said, we
good.
got Arizona. Oh yeah, I want to talk about Sniper Elite, Wes. What did you think of Sniper Elite Winter Warrior on Quest?
I thought it was DLC, and which is great
Mm.
because Sniper Elite VR is one of my favorite games. It's probably my favorite story-driven military shooter in VR. I love Sniper Elite, and the fact that I now get more of it for what $11.50 on MetaQuest. Come on, son, you can't beat it. It's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it when I reviewed it, you were right. Like it's definitely dated in a lot of ways, but when it comes to doing what it's for, like what it's supposed to deliver, a really cool like sniper feeling, yeah, it does it. Like without a doubt. I had a great time playing it. Like it didn't matter how many things I found, kind of like I know are not up to date. I still really enjoy playing it.
How awesome is it that you didn't have to own the original game to play it? So they didn't have that as a barrier, which I thought was smart and cool as well.
I think
Yeah, 'cause it's-
that kind of also gave people a bit of misconception though. I think people thought it was a brand new game, you know?
No, maybe. I mean, I guess if you're $15, I mean, I guess that it should be obvious. Maybe they should have been more upfront. But this is my thought. It's such a good game for $15. You play it. You never played the original. It's going to make you want to go buy the other one.
Yeah.
And
So,
in
but it-
fairness, there are new gameplay modes in it. Like if you want to go play any of that like horde mode style stuff, they've added that into it for replayability. So it is a little bit different than the original, but I didn't go in to play that. I don't care about that. I went in for the campaign. The campaign is Sniper Elite with snow, and that's fine for me. That's fine.
I agree. I had a really good time. Sim Racing Junkie says, I know we say that every year, but I really feel like 2024 will be a big step forward for VR. There's a lot happening in 2024. Like, we just heard rumors of PS5 Pro. We've got Apple Pro coming. We got potentially the MetaQuest, the slim version of MetaQuest. Like, a lot of shit is happening. So, yeah, man.
Do you think we'll see the PlayStation 5 Pro at CES? They'll unveil it? Possibility?
I think
I think it's very possible.
yeah, I
It's
do.
so soon.
Why do you say?
Well,
no,
hold on.
Alex?
When did PS5 launch?
3 years ago.
Okay,
3
so
years
yeah,
ago.
3-4 years is about when they
Are
do
you
this.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Remember, they took over a year where
Halfway
nobody
through.
could get it.
Halfway through its life cycle.
You all right, Alex? You all right?
No,
He's like, wait a minute, I thought it launched last week.
I know. God damn.
He hasn't played Arizona, and he thinks PS5 is only about a year old. What's
Dude, I'm so fucked up. I'm so
And he
fucked up.
lives in Arizona.
There's
What?
like so much going on. There's like 3 other things that are like top of mind for me. Beat Saber just came out with the new free music pack, an original
Oh, yeah.
soundtrack, which is worth playing Beat Saber for.
Eric loves Beat
Um,
Saber.
100%.
Walkabout Mini Golf just added a fucking Meow Wolf.
Oh,
quest.
Yeah, did you
I
play it
wish
yet?
I would have played that.
No, which of course if you know me, you know I love Meow Wolf. This is a
Yeah,
no-brainer.
that's why I'm
so
surprised you haven't played it yet.
I know, dude. So I want to get into that and some other bullshit too, man. There's so much going on. There's
Have
a
you
lot.
tried Resident Evil 4 yet? Remake?
No, I haven't done anything. I've been
Dang.
trying to catch up and get
Beat
my
up
life
now.
together.
It's on sale.
Damn,
Well,
yo.
wait a minute,
done
maybe it's
anything.
not on sale anymore.
It is
I
on.
know.
Oh,
And Resolution Games has a new game dropping this week with Racket
Yeah,
Club.
Racket Club, which is freaking phenomenal, dude.
Oh,
It's so
good.
much fun.
So good.
Like,
It's mixed.
So
Is
good.
it? It's not just mixed reality though, is it? You can just play it normally.
no, yeah,
No,
you can do it either way.
Because we played
Like,
it.
I actually
Skiva,
like that one
at the
better.
offices, didn't we? Against
Hmm?
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So much fun.
Yeah, so Dad Breath, which is an interesting name, says slap in the face to everyone who just bought a Slim. It is, man. Like, I think it really is. Like, Slims normally come at near the end of a life cycle of a console. And I don't think anyone thought PS5 was coming to the end of its life cycle, but for them to now go, oh yeah, there's a Pro coming, potentially. This is rumored.
Yeah, right.
This is rumored. Yeah, that's not too clever. So
Well, I mean, what's the Slim though? It's a PS5.
yeah, but
Right.
some people will.
Like, how dare they come out with a PS5?
It
Like, the
depends,
PS5's
doesn't
been
it?
out.
It depends, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like, a lot of people would just chase that hardware. They'd be like, "Yeah, I need to get the new Slim now," because I had a
Like,
couple.
I've seen it. I'm like, I'm not impressed. I'm like, okay, it's a little bit smaller, but I don't know.
Who cares? I don't
Seriously.
want like I wanted to perform and actually have a little bit more
Mhm.
room. I
I
never
mean, the only
understood the
only
Slim to
people that
begin
could be
with.
really pissed off are people that are just buying the PlayStation 5 for the first time, I guess. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna go get the Slim, and then they're like, oh man, now they just announced the freaking Pro, and now I just got the Slim I don't really need.
But that won't be free. Like,
No.
it'll be more expensive than the thing that they're getting. You know,
Right.
like maybe
Yeah,
they
and we
weren't
don't know.
trying
I
to
mean,
spend that much.
They might announce it in January, but it may not come until fall of next
People
year.
should
You
be
really gonna
buying
wait
Xboxes
without a
anyway.
PlayStation 5 until that long? You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do that.
Here's a
You want a hot
conversation.
take?
Go on.
Here's a hot take for you. Looking at the flat games that were revealed during the Game Awards this year, there was 2 games that really excited me, and they were both Xbox exclusive.
Really?
What were they?
Thrasher didn't excite you?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about flat games.
Oh, okay.
That's a VR game. Hellblade 2 looks fucking incredible.
Mm.
And the Hideo Kojima
Oh
horror
yeah,
game that's coming out, like that thing, that's that's going to be a special game.
yeah.
So I mean, is the tide turning? Sony's getting quiet. They're not telling anybody about what's coming, and now Xbox is putting out banger exclusives that everyone wants to play and can get on Game Pass. Like, Sony better be careful, man. They're going to fumble the bag if they're not careful.
Shades of Grey says I'm wrong. He's talking about PS4. You are probably right, mate. I was thinking about PS1. I think the Slim come out well after the end of the PS1 life cycle. So yeah, you're probably right, mate. I've never really bothered with the slim stuff. Like it doesn't really excite me, you know. I think, oh, that's nice for people who want something, because I mean the PS5 is a fucking big unit. I'm looking at it now and I'm like, yeah, that is a big unit, but I actually like the shape of it. I think it looks quite nice.
You know who really likes a big unit?
Yeah. Who loves the shape of the big unit?
Yeah, she does.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a triple, then a hat trick. I was waiting for the third. But yeah, I'll tell you. Oh, do you know? I just had a fucking good question for you boys, and it's gone now.
We freaking killed it.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I made a video on it on Sunday, and I probably shouldn't have. If someone asked you what VR headset they should buy at the moment, and they've not got any VR experience or any VR headset, like,
is money a thing?
I think money's always a thing for people in general at the moment. So I don't know.
Is this really a conversation?
This is an actual conversation. Me and Wes and Skiva, we talked about this for like 30 minutes the other night. I didn't know if it was going to be a conversation or not, but I brought it up. It is, because I thought my answer would be absolutely always be the Quest 3, but I've changed. I think I'm Quest 2.
I went Quest 2
I think I'm Quest 2. I really do.
Only for the price. Only
for the price.
Now listen, Alex. Listen, right? This is a bit tried and tested by me at the moment as well, because we've got friends of the family who are like, I want to get into VR, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to buy a Quest 3. It's £550, I think. So actually, it's £300 more, right? But the Quest 2, one, you can get them secondhand. Quite a lot of them, actually, I think, at the moment. And brand new, the 250 off Amazon. And that does play the games that we don't know about yet. The games that are out right now. A whole host of library, God knows before. PC VR. It's actually, I think it's a really
You're not wrong.
Good, affordable doorway into...
You are not wrong.
Okay.
I've loved the shit out of my Quest 2. And I guess I haven't used it in a while, but I still use my Quest Pro. I bounce back and forth between my Quest Pro and my Quest 3. The experience of putting the Quest 3 on, especially out of the box with the head strap and facial interface, the experience of putting the Quest 3 on is night and fucking day compared to the Quest 2. And the Quest 2, in my opinion, will fall short of these family members' expectations, and the Quest 3 will not.
They've not had any, but you've just said the same. You've just said
no, they still have
Quest
expectations.
3.
But no, I think the expectations of a 250 headset with thousands of fantastic games that you can go play right now for $250 is a different,
uncomfortable black and white pass through. They have that feeling of disconnect from. But
if you've never had color pass through, though, the black and white pass through is not going to be something you care about, because the games are black and white.
Yes, it will.
Only if you know about color pass through, though.
Yeah,
exactly. I disagree. I think that there is this like inherent expectation that people have of this technology for it to just be comfortable and fucking look good and work. And the Quest 2 falls slightly short of what I think people want to see when they put that shit on.
I agree on.
Comfort, audio, all of it. Visually, the fucking lenses in the Quest 3 are so good. The depth sensor is so good.
But those are for people that already have a Quest 2 to say, I want to go to the Quest 3 for these things. If you're looking at somebody who's never had that headset on before, or has never done virtual reality before, that Quest 2 headset is a freaking marvel,
the Quest 2
dude.
on, and it hurts. And they get this feeling of disconnect from their living room that they wouldn't have if they put the Quest 3 on.
We have all been like using the Quest 2 and loving it for 3 years, and we just
we're the hardcore. We're the ones that are willing to
spoiled.
forgive.
No, but we're
no.
Yeah.
We're willing
These
to
people
forgive
don't know any
these
better.
things. Yes, they don't give a shit. Is the
For
thing
200? But think about. Let me ask this: all the experiences that you can have for $250, and I'm going to give you all these amazing experiences. Everything you can go play Arizona Sunshine 2 on your Quest 2 right now and be completely blown away. And you could do this for $250. And I'll tell you why it's going to outsell it. And why? Because it's $250. It's in the no-brainer category. At $550, you are out of that no-brainer. I have to think really hard about whether I'm buying this thing or not. At
You're not wrong.
It's an
but
easy purchase.
if I care about this person who I'm making a recommendation to, I have to lean into the Quest 3.
You got
it's future proof. It gives them the experience that they want that second they fucking put that headset on. I have homies who I've been trying to get into the Quest with the Quest 1, nope. Quest 2, they looked at it, nope. Quest 3, I think, is good enough to meet the expectations of these fucking people who aren't as enamored by this technology as we are.
Well, what you're saying there is very indicative of my kind of answer to this question. You're saying your homies, these are people that probably are gamers, right? And are playing flat and console games and PC games. There is no clean answer to this question. It depends on who's asking the question, right? It depends. Do you have a console? Do you game? Or are you talking about somebody who doesn't game, somebody who's just that you're trying to get into VR that maybe wouldn't normally play games? It depends on the individual and the situation. I think that Eric's right. For most, Joe and Sally Walmart types that are just mildly curious about VR, Quest 2 is going to be enough at $250 to get them to give it a look. Now, will they put it in their closet in 6 months? Maybe. But in my case, it was my in-laws. I talked about this the other day. My in-laws have been curious about VR for years. They just bought a Quest 2 because they just went down to that ridiculous price point.
Yeah.
They got it for $250. They got a $50 gift card back when they bought it. Plus they got a $30 store credit from the referral I gave them. It's like nothing, man. When you look at it that way, it's $170. And now they're playing Walkabout, they're playing Ven, they're playing all these low lift, easy to play titles for people who don't game, and they're loving it. They're talking about getting a second one, but before I let them do that, now I'm going to take the Quest 3 over there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn on that color pass through, and it's going to blow their mind. And I'm sure they're going to buy the 3 when they get their second headset.
That's where I think it's a good price point to get there. Like, I think at $250, it's a headset you can get, enjoy, have fun, and have it be like your entry into going to get to Quest 3.
Yeah. Like, in a way, it's kind of like the bottom level at the moment, and it's still a good quality, but yeah, you're right. Like, Quest 3 actually kind of has even ruined the PSVR 2 a little bit for me, because those pancake lenses are just so fucking good. Do you know what I mean?
What about mixed reality that you guys have been trying to sell me on or raving about? Like, do you think?
No,
Let me finish what I'm going to say.
Why are we trying to sell it to him? Because we say it's good. You think we're trying?
Well, no, this is the thing, because you're downplaying it now, but in a sense, and everything you just said is valid. But what I'm saying is, for family members, like, is the Lego experience mixed reality? Is it that good? Is all of these things that you guys have been talking about, is it worth that extra money, or is it the gimmick that I think it is? I'm not saying that there's not some good titles, but for the most part, I don't feel like it's worth the money to get that mixed reality experience. But you guys are saying the opposite.
This conversation right now is a conversation right now, but this is where the Quest 3 Slim is going to tick that box. It's going to be the headset that is potentially $250, $300. It's going to have a lot of the stuff that has without the controllers. That's where this argument kind of then changes again, or this discussion.
No.
To me, it's the price
it's not going to have color pass-through or pancake lenses.
I've
It would be weird if it doesn't, though, because
I heard it's going to have
cheap
color
Quest
pass.
2. Like, I mean, then you're going to
You might
Quest
be
2
right.
for
You
the
might
same
have a
price.
Quest. Yeah.
They're
to
going
me,
to cut something out
Ruth,
of
what
it.
you're
I mean, they're not
saying-
going to just make a Quest 3 that's smaller and more compact and charge less money for it. Like, that's not what's going to happen.
So
They're going to cut some corners with it.
Well,
To
I was
me-
just going to say,
yeah, I'll have a point I want to make here. So it's let's say I am like looking to enter this world of VR, and I'm going to compare it to something like learning how to like picking up a new instrument. It's like when I want to learn how to play guitar, the better that piece of equipment is, the easier it's going to be for me to acclimate to this new lifestyle and world. And the Quest 2, is it a decent guitar? Yeah. Can I learn how to play chords on it? Yes. Will it make me want a better guitar? Fuck yeah. But it's going to make it harder for me to adapt to this new thing that I'm trying to enjoy in my life. And the Quest 3, in my opinion, isn't that much more expensive. It might even be double, but if we're talking $200-$300, to me, it is a fucking no-brainer to
I think
spend
at
the
Christmas
extra money.
time, that's a lot of money. personally.
And it might be, but if you're asking about the like legitimately recommending, and like I want you to enjoy the experience, I want you to get what you're looking for out of this. I think it's no question. I don't think the Quest 2 is going to deliver on half of what the Quest 3 can deliver on.
So you're
you're
recommending
saying-
that people would just maybe save up and then
Yes.
buy the better one. Yeah. So
Yes.
just do what people don't do in 2023, 2024. Actually save money and then get the better version down the road.
Yes.
I agree.
I have a friend who hit me up and he's like, dude, I want to get it. I'm ready to get into VR. I'm looking at this Quest 2. I've got $200 in my pocket right now, bro. I could go buy this thing and I'll be in. Do you think I should get it? And I was like, no, do not do that. Save that
Save up.
$200 and put it towards the 3 because it is going to do what you want it to. And the 2 will fall short.
Save
Yeah,
up
I
for
mean,
the Stratocaster. Don't get the Epiphone, right?
That's it, dude.
I
Get
think it's
the better
it is
guitar.
it is just a price thing, and to me, because I think we're all agreed. Quest 3 is a better headset.
Yeah,
If
in
you're-
every way.
If you're really
In every way.
strapped,
Yeah.
It's
if you're
just
like,
it's just a price thing, and I'm going to say this: if it's between you not getting VR and you getting VR, then go get the $250 one and have fucking fun now, because you know what? Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Do today for yourself and enjoy yourself today, because tomorrow you may get hit by a freaking truck and you're dead.
That's
Go
dad.
have fun today.
That's
Spend
dad
your money.
talk. That's dad talk.
All right.
son.
Speaking of dad talk, I will tell you that I've talked to a lot of normal everyday people that are not into VR and not in this bubble. And when they tell me they have a Quest 2, because like, well, what do you do for a living? Like I'll be at, my kid's, friend's birthday party with a bunch of parents I have nothing in common with. And like, oh, you're in VR stuff. Okay. And they're like, I have a Quest and it's been sitting in the closet for a year and I haven't touched it. And I ask why? Like, because it blows my mind that you can have something so amazing and let it sit there. And their answer is always that if I put that headset on, my kid is going to kill himself before I take that headset off. They'll climb something, break something, fall off a thing, right? Like they cannot disconnect in that way with little kids in the house, right? So the Quest 3 can solve that problem with some games, right? So that's a big thing. But at the same time, there's the other people that their kids are older or they don't have kids, right? That they just want a game. And the Quest 2 is the Quest 2 is a very viable headset for them because it's a hard time right now in 2023. Everything is super expensive. I want to buy a loaf of bread. I have to take out a mortgage,
Exactly,
right? Like,
yeah.
so a $200 headset is $250 headset is a big deal. So it just depends. It's always, there's no one size fits all here. You got to know your audience.
It is trying to answer a question that is super subjective, but give a general answer. Like
it's an individual situation,
of course it
right?
is. Of
What is
course
your
it is.
finances like? And
like literally,
and I agree with
Yeah.
I agree with what Mash said, and this is what I always say: is like if it's going to keep you from getting into VR, then if that's the line that says either I get this Quest 2 or I don't get VR, then obviously get the Quest 2. But if you're able to wait, I agree with what Alex is saying because you're getting a better experience. Whatever it is, like you get what you pay for. And so like we're at the beginning of the Quest 3 cycle, and then we're past the end. Oh, well, not the end of it, but we're getting close to the end of the Quest 2 cycle. So you got to think about that as well, right? Like how long do you want to own this headset and have it be viable? So
Main fan says, "How poor is this person?" Beyond
yeah,
frames,
exactly, main fan. I agree.
Beyond frames. Thank you ever so much for the donation of 129 SEK. I don't know. I can't remember how much it is. So I've got a taxi. It's quite a lot, actually. It's quite a good donation. Thank you ever so much. Yeah, pretty sure it is. I'll have to check. But Eric, what about the micro stutters?
So I got to tell you a story. I'm in. We're at the VR awards, and Maeva, one of the publishers, or one of the part of the publishers, Beyond Frames, comes up to me and says,
"Who is lovely?
Eric, she's amazing."
Cheers.
She goes, "Eric, it's great to see you, but what about the micro stutters?"
No, absolutely. Like, I don't know if you know, Eric. I didn't mean to talk about you behind your back last week, but
nice.
I was listening to the show, walking the dog the next day, which I do a lot, and you actually had your own argument Like there
With
was
myself?
Yeah.
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 And even Roots pointed out, he went, but Mash, no one's actually saying that the fucking microstats are a problem. And you were like, fucking you were really kicking off. And it was a good 15-minute rant.
My wife came up in the middle of it, and she must have been listening, because she came up and she's like, here's a cup of coffee. She's like, you need to relax.
How can coffee help you do that?
Yeah,
that's not what you fucking want.
No,
You need a hot dog to pepper, dude. You need a hot dog.
By the way,
Right,
Beyond
well done,
Frames,
Toddy.
Beyond Frames in the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Babe is awesome. She's a legend.
Dude, she is incredible. Like
Yeah,
I really had an opportunity to just like sit and chat with her last week. Was that last week or so? And I was just floored by her knowledge of this space and the market and like all of that stuff. She is brilliant. Beyond Frames is the real deal for sure.
Just her history and what she's done in the gaming industry and some of the most amazing games that you know. I mean, I think it's Payday. I think she worked on Payday. Amazing.
Bro, I was
Like,
shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
just like trying to pick my jaw up the whole time, just like because she's so knowledgeable and
She's
just like
brilliant.
it's right there. Like
Brilliant
she doesn't have
and-
to dig for it. It is
Yeah.
right there. She's the real deal.
Beyond
Brilliant
Frames
and
is a kick-ass
and ton of
publisher.
fun to hang out with.
Oh my gosh, she is too.
Yep.
Don't get a big head, maybe, if you're watching.
Go ahead,
But
girl.
we love you.
We really do. You're the
We
best.
love you.
So what games got next to wrap this show up in December? What are we looking forward to next? Obviously,
Resident
Vertigo
Evil.
2,
Do we really talk
Asgard's
about
Wrath
Resident Evil?
2.
Asgard's Wrath
Asgard's Wrath.
2.
Tell us
You know.
about that. You're allowed to talk about it. We're not. So
I am actually, because I'm
What's it?
still unbelievably right. They gave us this crazy embargo of fucking like this is a cut-off point, right? And I remember thinking, oh, dude, like you really need to be a bit more descriptive. Give me some pictures. I need to know exactly when to stop. I'm still not fucking there yet. I'm still like I think I've done 6 or 7 hours, and I'm still not at the cut-off point where they said. And do you know what the problem is? This game throws so much fucking sidetrack at you. It's unbelievable. Like, you start off, oh, can you do this for me? Oh, yeah, why are you doing this? Can you go and do that for me? Blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, oh, if you're here, can you pick these and bring them back to me and I'll make this for you? And, like, when you open up the menu... No, I just want... Like, this game, honestly, is fantastic. Like, it's... For a quest game, it's probably the highest budget quest game I've played. As in... Everything just... How can I put it? It's just a very high quality title. Like it's a really high quality title. And
perfect pack in for Quest 3. Like this is the one they gave everyone. And
oh,
you know, you
dude,
don't-
do you know what? I before I played it, and I think Roots used to take the piss out of me for when I was in Connect, and they were like, "Oh, game, what are you looking forward to?" And I was like, "Power Wash more than Asgard." Or someone was taking the piss out of me, and they obviously didn't really like me saying that. But the absolute honest truth was the fact that they were bringing Asgard's Wrath from PC to Quest made me kind of disregard it a bit. I was like, this is going to be not that game. It might be there in name, but honest, like so far, it's really impressive. Yeah, every time I play it, I just don't think anyone understood the value of the game. Like, oh, you get an Asgard's Wrath 2 with Quest 3. It's just something to say. It doesn't really matter. But when you play it, it does matter a lot, actually. And that's the thing. There's no hype around it because no one understands what it is, what it's going to be. The first game was stuck on a PC. That probably maybe a very small amount of Quest owners have played. So they don't understand what they're getting either. You know, they've just seen a video on it or something. It's almost like, as I said, wouldn't it be awesome if they did a bundle of a Resident Evil PSVR 2 bundle at the moment? Like, people understand that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
fucking cool, man. Like, Resident Evil 8 and 4, you can play in VR with this headset. Like, just putting that on a box, people would notice. They'd be like, oh, shit, that looks fucking awesome, you know? Horizon probably did that as well. A Gran Turismo bundle would have done that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen.
Use it.
Yeah, use
right,
it.
Exactly. Use it. You got it. Use it.
Yeah, it's really annoying from a marketing perspective. But you know, I guess there's other factors that come into it. But you have Asgard's Wrath 2. that game being free of a Quest 3 is a big deal. Like, I don't know how I'm going to review it. I'm struggling to play it at the moment. Like, I'm in VR anyway a lot for my job, but I've got to try and play at least 4 to 5 hours a day of this.
Wow.
That's
To
crazy.
get
With
anywhere
everything
near.
else.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm going to be able to finish it to review it. Realistically, right? The reviews are, I think it's Friday.
You probably can't even say what you would think the total time would be to finish it. Or you probably can't. Even
I've
say.
told you what they told me. They told me for completionists, and that's without the roguelike part of the game, because it's got its own roguelike game in it. Is 134 hours.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
That
People forget.
Is that too much?
People forget.
Yeah.
No.
It depends. It depends. It depends on
No, yes.
how it holds up, and like you don't want to be backtracking and doing the same things over and over again. But if they can keep it fresh, I mean, there is
It
no
can
limit,
be.
right?
It can be. I mean, I put in over 130, 40 hours into a game like Elden Ring and didn't even feel like I put in the time because it was
Yeah, I
so
mean,
good.
I mean, No Man's Sky. People have put hundreds of hours in No Man's Sky, but you got to remember what one of the only digs on Asgard's Wrath was. It was too long. It was 40 hours, and people are like noping out. So at
Well, they
130,
made some mistakes with the gameplay on that made it become grindy after a while.
it was. So, but I mean, I hope they learned from that.
Well,
Right.
from what they said in the devlogs and stuff leading up to launch is that they corrected all that stuff. They listened to feedback and have tweaked the gameplay accordingly. So I hope that's true. People forget what an impact the first game had on VR gaming. Like it
Asgard's
legitimately raised the bar for VR gaming when it came out. Nothing else compared. It made all the games that we all get from day to day and week to week look shitty. Even really good indie games looked shitty when Asgard's Wrath came out because it was so good and so polished. And that's the reason why I'm so excited for this, is because sure, it's going to be a standalone game. It's not going to be quite on the graphical level of the original, but the gameplay is supposedly expanded and better.
I would even say, honestly, graphically, I'm still kind of, and admittedly, I played it mostly. I've played 99% of this on Quest 3. I just played it on Quest 2 the other day, just cloud-based save to see how that worked and see how it performed on Quest 2. But obviously, the display and the lenses of Quest 3 do make a difference. Yeah, the game genuinely, like, still been in it for, as I said, I don't know, 7-8 hours, and I still look at my fists and the armor I've got, and I'm impressed.
I'm impressed that you've been in the game 8 hours and you're just getting started with it. That's
awesome.
most VR games you're wrapping at 8 hours, right?
Yeah,
That's
dude,
awesome that you're
sorry.
doing that and still having fun with it. Like, I don't want to be in 8 hours.
Man.
I don't want to be in 8 hours going, oh, man.
That's the thing. Like, I do. I had to shrink the game to play it in my mind because, as I said, like for me, there was a point where I was thinking, I can't. Like, I'd rather not do this because as a review, because there's so much, and I was like, no, just fucking focus on the storyline, focus on the main storyline, unlock the because I think in the first game you had like eight followers or something you could use. As this is now 5, and they've all got very very useful transformations. For example, the first lady we've got at the moment transforms into a panther, so then you can ride her and go around the desert and stuff because it's such a vast landscape. It's huge. I'll tell you what was really cool today. When I entered the desert, I kept hearing this like banging and this growling. I was thinking, what the fuck is that? Like, it's obviously a large monster somewhere. And I got like kind of God of War flashbacks. There's like this giant dog thing pulling what looks like a massive pyramid or something on its back, and it's just in the background lurching along, and you're like, fucking hell, man, I want to see that. Like, I want to get as close as I can to that. And yeah, I think this is going to be one of those games where it's going to I think it's going to be a word of mouth game. Like, hopefully bigger channels review it, but I think it's going to be a word of mouth where people download the game because they've got a Quest 3 and then they're like, oh, this is actually really good. Like, this is a really good game. And yeah, I think it's going to be a surprise hit in some ways.
Exciting.
It is exciting, man. Like, I love playing it, don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking like I'm going to put a review out there and it's going to be very unfinished. But hopefully I know enough about it to do a good job.
You'll do a great job.
From the talented developers that brought us Marvel's Powers United VR.
I never really got the hype on that game. I thought the very first opening bit of that was fantastic.
Was cool.
And being the Hulk and stuff, but it was just like a wave-based thing, wasn't it, after that?
It's a wave shooter.
Yeah. It looked really good for its time though.
We still don't have a proper full-blown Marvel game. Iron Man's great. Iron Man's great, but I want a Marvel game. Give me an Avengers game.
Haven't we got a Batman game coming from Camouflage?
Yes, from Camouflage, yeah.
That's the rumor. I don't think that's been confirmed, but that is the rumor.
I fucking love that, man. I love Batman. Bit of power. Yes, it is 32 gig install, which is ridiculous. I don't know how that is possible, but it's 32 gig. To be fair, when you start it up and it has to compile the shaders, the very first time it does this, it's a good 4 to 5 minutes of sorting out the shaders. And then every time you start it up, you have to wait not too long, probably 20 seconds, and it has to do another 1,000 each time. But yeah,
did you guys just see this? This is a flat game thing, but the day before just closed down. They are gone.
Yeah.
They just went bankrupt. The game is done.
What's that?
Gone.
What game?
The day before.
Never
The
heard
game
of it.
the day before that just launched on PC.
The company was like, they founded was 8 years ago, and then like they've been crowdfunding this for a couple of years, and then they just released last week, and now they're
They're out
shutting
business.
down.
Well, because no one bought it, or they were bought out.
No, it was very hyped.
This was
People
hyped as
craved-
one of the most anticipated games of 2023.
The
right. It was
day
an
before.
MMO, right? Like even Asmongold, I was watching his video on it, and yeah, this is the thing. They're kind of claiming that they didn't take any money, but
They had to have.
They sold all these fucking copies.
Yeah.
like
Well, they said they
210,000
didn't make
copies.
money.
Guys, it's overwhelmingly negative with nearly 20,000 massively negative reviews, Roots.
Yeah, it came out to like it got killed.
That's
Like,
what
it
I was
got
asking.
destroyed.
Sorry, I thought you said it
Oh, yeah.
actually delivered as well. I was like, oh,
No. It launched. It was one of the most highly anticipated games coming out this year.
it's a fucking
And
good trailer
like people
again.
were like talking about this like this could be the greatest game of all time, like the people hyping it up, and then it launched like completely broken, and this thing they're like, we're taking all your money and we're paying off bills, and now we're closing your
Oh,
doors.
do you know why, dude? This looks like GTA San Andreas mixed with what was the one that Ubisoft done? The Division.
Oh, yeah, that's a great game.
That's what it looks like, a mixture of. Yeah, GTA and that. Yeah, this is just a fucking another really good trailer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
VR has the same problem, to be honest. Sometimes trailers are very good, and then you play the game and you're like, what is this? This is not that. But yeah, I think we
Hey,
should
Skiva,
not wrap it
Yo.
up there.
how you doing, man?
I'm great. I am
That's cool.
dying to play more Resident Evil 4 tonight.
That's
Dude.
gonna be exciting.
Do you know what? I should do that. I live streamed it the other day, and I had such a fucking great time, man.
You don't
Such
have
a great
time. You got to get into
So
Asgard.
That's the
right?
problem.
No time to do anything. Skiva,
Yes.
do you want to mention what we're going to be getting into this weekend, or are we not going to talk about that until next
Is
week?
this a father and son thing you can share live?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Can we
nice.
talk
We're going
about it?
fishing.
I don't know if it's.
Are you getting into the same
supposed to or
thing?
not.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it
I
is.
just, we got a special project thing that's going to be coming together
Yeah.
here. And
Yeah, we're going to play some Racket Club, live and in person.
Oh, that'd be
Mhm.
cool. What?
there's
yeah,
an event.
yeah.
Doing a tournament, and we
Where?
got to play
Where?
this
Where?
week, man. We got to like not just play, like we got to get in there and like
Get good.
get
We
good.
got to win.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we got to win.
Yeah.
This
Where
week.
are you
So-
doing it? Where are you doing it and stuff?
There's like a pickleball facility in Arizona,
Hmm.
and they're hosting a Racket Club tournament there.
Is pickleball really big?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
becoming big.
What the fuck are
It
they
is.
called? Why do they use the pickle?
I don't know.
Why the
I've
word?
always wondered that too.
Why the
You
word
know who loves
pickle?
to use
Pickleball.
the
I mean, if
pickle?
you
I
think
love
about
pickles, but I don't know.
Does it look like a pickle? Is it pickle shaped?
it, you know who loves pickleball?
You know who loves things pickle shaped?
My mom.
We're never getting
Well,
a
anyway,
hat trick, boys. We're never.
I
getting a
guess
hat
we're
trick.
going to be covering this thing, so
Yep.
we'll be able to say exactly what this thing was next week. But
Did they
this
say? Did
weekend
they say
we'll be doing it.
let's get two old guys to come out and cover this old man?
Look
game?
who's fucking talking.
Well,
my
you know.
God. Like, dude, don't tee me up like this, bro.
They're like,
I
bring,
love you.
bring the geezers out to the course so we can cover
Oh
the
my
pickleball.
god.
Oh my God.
Just shot a
Is
bunch.
it, what do they call it?
What?
Is it a racket? A pickleball racket?
Triangulator just shot a bunch
club?
of pickleball ads for Nike. Is it
No.
that?
Really?
Is it that
That's
big?
cool. Yeah, it's getting really, really big. It started off as like really popular in the senior community and started working its way down. And it's now just huge. It's a big deal.
There's a VR pickleball
Why, I
game,
don't
isn't
know.
there?
There's
There
a couple.
is.
I just don't
There's
know.
one out and there's another one coming.
Who?
Mhm.
Why pickle?
I don't know.
We have to look it up. Ask Google.
That's a good point. Let's fucking look it up. Why is pickleball called pickleball?
I hope someone makes like Pickle Rick ball.
Yes.
Correct. Love it.
Squanch games. They'll do it.
The history. I found the history of pickleball.
Oh God.
Nice.
We don't need all that.
You need to know it for next week, Bird.
That's
I'm going
true.
to talk about it if you don't know the history.
This ain't pickleball.
Oh, okay, I got it. Basically, they wanted to play some badminton, these guys, right, the inventors, in 1965, and they didn't have enough rackets. So they improvised and used ping pong paddles and a wiffle ball, hence pickleball.
That doesn't explain
don't-
shit.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Pick ball.
Ping and pickle and
Yeah.
Ping pong and
Quiffle?
I
Wiffle.
say that's what it
Pickle.
says. I say that's what it
Okay.
says.
I guess.
I mean, you've
In
all.
1965?
Can we get a like for everyone just learning something today? Is that okay?
Yeah.
We didn't learn it. What did we learn?
We
Where's the
learned.
pickle? Where did that come in?
Don't question the
So,
fucking knowledge,
the
Alex.
ping
Yeah, don't
pong
question
We
Right.
learned
Wiffle
something. We just
ball.
didn't learn the answer.
Skiva,
Pickle.
can you ground
Don't
Alex?
question the. Don't
Ground
question.
Alex,
Yes,
please.
grounded.
No,
Oh, come
no
on.
supper.
He was just gonna play video games with me. What are you doing?
He still will. I reckon he'll go, fine, I'll go to my room and he'll still play, I reckon.
Yeah.
Sneak it in.
That's what I reckon. Well, that's what I used to do anyway. But thank you ever so much for everyone joining us today. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. If you enjoy Virtual Reality Podcast, please subscribe. And thank you to all the boys for being here. As always, thank you very much.
Well, I
This
wish
is
Brad,
always
Brad
fun.
gets better, by the way.
Yeah, I hope you feel better.
Brad
Did
feels
you get
better.
your
and-
stomach? You've been around Brad. Ash
Oh,
got
yeah,
sick
we
and
were
then
hanging out.
passed on.
Oh, I hope he has some waifu. Will that help? with
Ooh.
it?
Some hot Dr.
Waifu.
Pepper. That'll make him feel
Uh,
better.
Hot
hot Dr.
Dr.
Pepper
Yes.
would have definitely helped him.
That's
Yeah,
what did
for
it.
sure.
He drank it on the side, and it made.
Here's
him
what you
sick.
do tonight.
You know, hot
Everybody
Dr. Pepper
go,
shots.
go get some hot Dr. Pepper, sit down on your couch, watch
Don't do
Emmett
this.
Otter's Jug Band Christmas, and you'll be right as rain.
Sign the disclaimer first. Yeah,
Yes.
don't load it.
And then for dessert, you can have some Pepsi and milk, and you're ready to roll.
And another big shout out to Mickey Bear. That guy has been hard at work in the chat today, giving out fantastic VR games. Borderlands 2 dropped a minute ago. Like, if you
After
haven't
the fall Steam dropped earlier.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
Wow.
Seriously,
Like-
wow, that's a good one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Mickey,
crazy.
you're a legend, dude. You're a legend.
Years into the future, we look back and realize he was a hacker all along.
He stole all the games. He goes
He's
out.
like stealing it from our game code
breaking-
list.
He's breaking into Vertigo like with a crowbar. Fucking grab a load of these.
He's the Robin Hood of VR. He's giving away, stealing from the rich, and giving them to the poor communities of everybody that needs them.
I reckon he dresses as a bear. People walk in the office and go, I don't remember that bear statue. And when the lights go out, he's like, and he takes all the codes.
Well, you if you get to CES this year, you can meet him in person. Give him a big bear hug.
Is he a big
He's
bear?
bonus.
Is he a bear of a man?
He is a bear of a
He
man.
But his heart is as big as his body because that guy is probably
Ooh.
one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Ah.
Mhm.
He
He's
says-
amazing. He really
He
is.
says, thanks, everybody. It's so lovely. Right, guys, look after yourselves. Have a great week in VR. Make sure you check out all these guys' channels for content, and we'll see you all next week. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Easy.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hold on, did you guys want to talk about Don Quilly?
Don.
Yeah, Don.
Don. Who doesn't love Don?
No.
Don.
Yeah, what do you mean no? Why? That guy's a
Where's
legend.
Don?
Man,
He's
why
been
do
through
you, like,
enough.
why do you keep dissing Don?
He's been through enough.
I'm
Dude,
just,
Mash is Mash is trying to build this guy up, Alex. What are
Yeah,
you
he was
doing?
having a tough day. I figured we'd bring him out and like notice him, and you're like, I've had enough of Don.
he found
Sorry, Alex, relax.
he found Don
He's
in the
just trying
gutter,
to lurk.
and he could put him back there. That's,
He's just
that's
trying to
the facts.
lurk, and I called him out.
Yeah, he's just trying to like enjoy this without like being the center of attention. Because the thing is, everywhere he goes, he's fucking Don, and everybody's
he's Don
losing their
forever.
fucking minds. So he comes here just to blend in, just for a day.
Just
and
for
then what
He's
once.
happens?
like, so he's like, I don't know, he's like some famous superstar, and he's like, look, I
Yeah.
just want him to relax, and you guys called me out, and like,
Yeah,
you
now
you
and
know
now
who
he's
I
the
am?
center of
Weird
attention.
people
you know
want
who
to
I
take
am?
pictures of me. I can't go out in public anymore. I'm done, man.
Yeah, yeah. Not to mention he was
I
like pretty
gotcha.
proud of his name. You know, he's trying to like play it cool, but just be Don. And then here comes Mash, fucking ripping him a new asshole.